to shul more than many of you did. You all think I'm kidding.
Makes a good joke until you find out that he just lies to everybody to try and be appealing and has no real internal self. Take a look at how the Washington Post designated fact checker spins Biden's demonstrable lies. Biden loves to retell certain stories. Some of them aren't credible. Oh, they go so easy. Remember how the Post talked about the last president? Joining me now, Alina Habba, general counselor to the Save America PAC, and David Harris Jr., host of his own show and podcast. To you both, thank you so much for coming on. Alina, Glenn Kessler has a euphemism for everything bad that we see from the President of the United States. But when he was covering Trump, there was an entire database documenting tens of thousands of lies. They fact-checked every sentence. Trump could say it was a beautiful day, and Kessler would say, well, technically it wasn't a beautiful day, so I'm going to count that as a lie. Your thoughts on how they're handling what really are pretty offensive lies when Joe Biden is talking to, people that are going through a tragedy or in another circumstance, he just makes a story up to try and connect to them?
Yeah, he's not connecting with anybody, Rob.
No.
I think we saw this. I mean, the most prominent one that was recent was what he did in Hawaii, right? I mean, I almost once lost a cat, and maybe my Carrera marble countertop might have been scratched. And, and my Corvette that held the classified documents, that too may have been a mistake that could have happened possibly. So I can relate to what's happening in Hawaii. This is the president that we're dealing with in the current situation. And when you have a press secretary that doesn't answer questions and avoids hard questions, and you have a president who can't effectively say anything clearly, let alone walk, we have a problem, and we're in a predicament. And they're covering the lies. But with President Trump, as you pointed out, if he says there was no clouds in the sky and it was a beautiful day, they're saying that was a lie. We should probably impeach him. Then we should also go indict him. And then let's also indict anybody that's ever worked for him and send them to the grand jury. Yeah. It is what it is. That's the country we're in. And if we don't fix it soon, we're not going to recognize. Frankly, I don't recognize it already. But, it's enough. It's obvious, and it's enough.
Yeah. You're right about that. David, the left in their desperation, they may have overplayed their hand with 4 virtually simultaneous indictments, which we can all very clearly see. These are connected through the DOJ. You've got each indictment leading to just more cash and more popularity for the former president because Americans are not stupid. They know how this is. Trump is starting to lead or tie in national polls. A new Wall Street Journal poll has Biden and Trump tied, which would mean an electoral landslide. I just want to remind people that, every time Trump's up against anybody, whether it's Hillary or Joe Biden, he's usually shown to be way far behind and then either wins the election or it's down to like the teeniest bit of your fingernail. Like with Biden, it was 22,000 votes flip and it would have been for Trump. To have him tied in national polls after all the BS we've seen for the last few years, that's something.
Well, I think it is something, Rob. I think that it's proof that the American people are finally wising up to the propaganda machine that is an arm of the Democratic Party. Americans, they see through these lies. I think for decades, unfortunately, especially the black community, but even just a lot of individuals, they would receive what they were hearing on news, most of your liberal mainstream media news outlets, and they would receive it as gospel, as truth. Yeah. They'd receive it as, well, that's just what's going on. But now when you've literally got the White House press sec standing up trying to make excuses for why Joe Biden has not gone to Palestine, Ohio, and then what was just shared as far as what he said in Hawaii. I mean, this is a president, a person that's been on vacation so much, yet he turns around and says he hasn't had a break to go to Ohio. I mean, it's so demonstrative, and it's so obvious that there's so many lies that it's finally waking people up. And I'm excited to see so many of the black community, especially, finally wake up to understand they don't have to just pledge a blind allegiance to the party that actually hates us. Hates black folks, hates America.
That's so well said. Well said. David Harris Jr., thank you so much. Alina Habba, great to have you on as always. Good to see you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Rob.